That should, wow. Is that a dirty lens or what? I think I just made it worse. Let me grab a rag. Right out of my Archie head there. There, is that better? Oh, that is better. That is better. See, I just put on these pants. You can't see them. I put on these pants, and they had sawdust in the pocket, and I had this phone in the pocket for a quick second. Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? I'm just here out in the shop this morning, about to insert this insert here. So, yeah. I haven't released a vlog in a few weeks, maybe 3 weeks or something like that. So this is going to be kind of a sneak peek into what the next vlog is going to be, which hopefully I can release tomorrow. But it all depends on if I can... Where are they? Behind this right here, there's 2 boards for shelves I got to install in my friend's shop. And then that will be the end of the vlog. Unfortunately, he broke down in another province, so he hasn't been able to get home since well, he left. If you watch not the next vlog but the next vlog. Sorry, I'm working on 3 right now, 3 that kind of they overlap with each other. The last one not so much with the first one, but kind of at the same time. It's more like the third one doesn't really overlap with the second one, because that one concludes whilst the first one is still ongoing. A little confusing. But anyway, my friend, he went to visit family in Ontario, I think. I don't know if that's in the vlog necessarily. But anyways, he's leaving he had left for Christmas or whatever. And then on his way back, he broke down. And he broke down in a small town that is closed on weekends and holidays, so he couldn't buy what he needed until yesterday, and hopefully he can fix his car. Hopefully he already did, and he's on his way home today, because he opens up tomorrow, and they kind of need him for that. Anyway, I finish off the vlog tomorrow, and that vlog takes place directly after the last vlog, where we have this new table here. And to help speed things along, I got one of these things. So I figured, why the heck not do a little Q&A thing, because we haven't done one in a while I try to install this. How are you guys doing wherever you are? Gail, was that Gail? Gail, so sorry that I have to catch up on your blog since before Christmas. Shameful. I have been missing you guys. Have a great New Year. You have a great New Year too. Happy New Year to everyone. Hello Donna. Thank you. Whilst. Love that form. Hello from Ontario. A live chat goes great with my morning coffee. Ah, you guys are probably at what? You're at 10 o'clock? What time is it now? 8 or 9? It's 9. Gail, thank you so much for that $20. Dang, alive and I'm at work. We'll have to watch later. Hello, Deborah. Nicola Johnson, all the way from Tibet. How's it going? What's that? Oh, so this thing that I'm putting in, this holds, this is a poor example, but it holds one of these, but we're going to put a bigger one in there. This is a router. This is a battery-powered one. Where's the power on this thing? Right here. So you see that little, that's a chamfer bit. That'll spin around to create a chamfer. If you don't know what a chamfer is, shoot. I've been working on batch D of the cutting boards, and all of those are already brought inside. I've only done 5 so far. The next vlog is about batch C. But I've already started on batch D. What can I show you on? Maybe I should just quickly make a cutting board. But that will take actually too long. Okay, I can show you on this. Actually, I don't want to waste it on that. A chamfer basically is a bevel, okay? That's what it is. Anyways, so this goes into here, like inside this little collar, and then this has this turny thing, which I don't know if you can tell because it's not going to go very fast, but there will be a tool to turn that faster and more convenient. But do you see how this space is getting smaller? So it raises and lowers it. And I'm going to be putting it in this table right here. I've already used this table, even though you guys haven't really seen this table yet. Unless you watched the last vlog, you saw a little bit of it. But I'm going to put one here, and then I'm going to get another one, and we're going to put it over here. Kind of tandem router tables. And that will up our production speed and efficiency by quite a bit, rather than using only handheld ones. These have their purpose. In fact, I have two of them now. These are new since a couple weeks ago I bought this one, and then a couple days ago I bought this one. This one doesn't have a battery in it right now. In fact, actually that battery's charged because it's charged overnight. Let me grab that. So anyways, I got these because I like it better than my my corded one. So anyways, I'm gonna put this in here. I just gotta figure out where I'm going to go, and I'm gonna try to do a Q&A here. You have a lot on your plate. What medium is most enjoyable? Do you ever rest? Well, I just like, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half ago got up, so I was resting before that. I still have sleep in my face because I didn't take a morning shower, so you know, I kind of look like a bag of dirt. But do I ever rest? I try to. I don't ever want to have to take a day off if I don't want to take a day off. So it is important to me, like myself, that I make a point to rest. Does that make sense? So yes, I rest almost every day for a period of a couple hours at least, and that is usually before bed. But it doesn't always happen. Just like anyone, you will be too busy for some things. So I am busy, but I am busy responsibly because I don't ever. Well, there's that saying. How does it go? Choose to take a day off or have to take a day off, or something like that, right? So you want to be able to choose to take a day off or some time off, not have to take it off. Like, what is? It's I said that pretty sloppily, but there's a pretty good saying that I like. As for my favorite medium, I think I like painting the most. If you've been following Instagram, then you saw that I was working on a painting, which will be in the next vlog. I've already finished that one. That one is like on my computer. And the next vlog, I already finished that one too. But I didn't finish the next vlog. But you'll see why. Okay, so here I have this in here. I am going to make it a little big because I'm tracing it. So I just traced all the way around it, right? It's going to be a little heavy, but that's okay. So I will route this out now at this depth. But you know what? I'm just realizing I don't have a bit for that. Shit. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. That's dumb. I didn't even think about that for some reason. Let me check. I'll just turn you guys over. Let's answer another question. Oh, Hans is here. Hello, Hans. Good morning from the sunny and cold Southern California desert. I'm not sure that will work, Josh. You're not sure what will work. You have a lot on your plate. Oh, I already read that. Happy New Year, everyone. What a lovely birthday present this is. Thanks. 68. Happy 68th birthday, Jane. Have my cutting board en route to me. Can't wait to see it. Awesome, Jackie. Like the picture frame behind you. This one right here? Or all of them? Oh, picture frames. Yeah, I like that wall. That was one of the first things I did in this shop. It is cool to look at, but very inconvenient to have a lack of usable wall space. But I don't care, because I like the way it looks. It is important to me that I like coming to work. And part of coming to work and liking it is involved in the aesthetic of my environment. You know what I gotta do? I forgot to do this last night. Freaking idiot. Okay, sorry, I'm a little scatterbrained here. I'm gonna bring in some wood that I got yesterday. If you followed my Instagram, you saw me get it. I just left it in my truck. You need an end mill cutter, I think. Yes, I do. What was the person who said that I don't think it's gonna work though? What were they talking about? It's been a while since I watched you paint. Yeah, I haven't painted a whole heck of a lot. Who was that person? My 3.5 vans. You have 3.5 vans? Wait, is one of the vans a trailer? Hello, Brian Fly. Okay, let me grab... there's so much snow. Okay, we got some here. Got some walnut and some cherry. 2 pieces of walnut, 2 pieces of cherry. I'll lean that up against this door here. Oh. And then I got some more. And some maple. 3 pieces of maple. I should have gotten more. But I didn't. Okay. Cold on the hands. Cold wood. I want to show you guys something. Since we're here, let's see if I can find another question here. Yes, it is. 3.5 vans is one of the vans is a trailer. But they still didn't answer what's not going to work. Do you look for wood other places like Craigslist? We have Craigslist here. It's not very popular. But do I look in those types of places for wood? Yes. But mostly only if it's free. Or free. It's almost never free. Only if it's like cheap or free. Because it's unseasoned. So I'll have to store it for 2 years before I can use it. If it's, milled by someone, just a civilian type operation. In that case, I usually do not take those types of woods unless I have a place that I know I can store it for at least 2 years so that, I can use it. Unseasoned wood is not very good to use. If I go to a hardwood dealer, it will already be seasoned, or it will be marked as unseasoned, and then they'll tell you that you have to season it. Anyways, let me show you these little place setting charcuterie boards here. These ones were made by Clint. This was an old guitar body that he made out of an old table. He wanted to try something because these are epoxy, and I don't know what the wood is. It might be the sapwood of walnut. Oh, yeah, look at this one. That's probably walnut, but I don't know. It could be something else. But look at that epoxy. It looks kind of cool. So this one is actually teak and oak. This is a board that was going to be in batch C. It was a bigger one, but it failed. But I glued the oak in like at an angle, and I thought that was going to be cool. But the shape that I cut, it just didn't flow nicely. So I just said, hey, make one of these out of this. And so he did. So we've got 4 of those that we're going to be putting in retail spaces. I've reserved some boards for retail space. This go around, and as well as batch D. I figure you guys are going to run out of the interest of cutting boards, but I still want to make them. If you watched my New Year live, you know that I have a goal this year to make 1,000 cutting boards. I didn't realize how much that is. That's 83-ish. 83? I think 80. No, go to Craigslist. Here we would use Kijiji, stuff like that. I don't really look on there unless I'm using reclaimed, in which case sometimes I do. But oftentimes people are just contacting me and asking me if I want, whatever, the cabinet or whatever. Like, I brought it inside. If you go on my Facebook page, the Ushitat Facebook page, and go into the Unfinished Kitchen album, you will see there's a oak butcher block that is made. That was made out of the top of a TV cabinet, an old TV cabinet. We're losing you, Josh. Losing what? What do you mean? Are we buffering? Who's on the picture behind me? Or maybe one over there? I don't know. Oh, it's pixelated. Hold on a second. Let's do this. That. Oh, it's frozen. Oh, that's no good. How are we now? I'm not sure the dual rotor idea will work. Please be careful. The 3.5 van life was saying he didn't know, or he or she didn't know if these would work tandem. They will, because they go underneath the table. You only use one at a time. You don't use both at the same time. You would just use one at a time. So this, obviously, this is going to go under. This is going to be flush mounted, right? It's going to be like this. So just the router bit will come up. There will be a plate. Like this whole thing will be covered up, right? There's an insert thing that goes here. And then the bit comes up, and then it goes back down via this control here. And then you would put one down and put one up, and you would just use one at the same time. The reason why I want 2 is so that I can have 2 different bits without changing out the bits. Just like this. See, this one, I don't know if you'll be able to really tell the difference, but I imagine it's not that difficult to see the different shapes here. It's not super subtle. See, one is a roundover and one is a chamfer. Same thing will be the case in these here. And then we also have the pin router over there, and that will be for cutting out shapes and stuff. Unfortunately, we don't have the 3-phase converter anymore, so we can't use that machine, but it's super handy. So we're working on getting another 3-phase converter. The ones that we found that were like the big, lots of copper motor thing, I don't even know what it's called, but they were like a couple grand. But there's an electronic one, they're like this big, you can just screw to the wall, and those are only a couple $100. I don't know if they do the same thing though, because I don't know anything about electric, and neither does Clint. But my brother Ken was here, and he was like, "Oh, just use this." And he's got electrical experience. I don't know if you would consider him an electrician. He took he went to school for it, like night school, but I don't know if it's the same qualifications or not as like a full-on electrician. Okay, both underneath, one at a time makes sense now. Yeah, absolutely. Especially like if I didn't have them like perfectly in line, that wouldn't be good. Okay, Let's see if I have the proper bit to cut it out. This is not in the vlog. This I did on a Patreon live, but I put a drawer in here. This is where those two routers would go. And then I also have this router right here. Oh, that has an end mill. Maybe I'll use this. Ha, perfect. That will be perfect. That was easy. That was easy. Okay, let me go on to the next question here. By the way, good morning to everyone who's hopping on here. Good morning from the mountaintop in Middle Tennessee. Had our first snow Sunday night and Monday morning. Looked like 6 inches, warming up and melting. Blue Sky 1027 said, thanks for delivering the cutting board yesterday. It's beautiful. Thank you for ordering it. Got to go make dinner in my finished kitchen. Anna, have a good supper or dinner. Adjustable straight edge between the two routers. Okay, we're thinking about putting in a T-track so that we can just slide in a router fence and then put a spacer block somewhere in there. We're not sure exactly how we're going to do it, but we'll figure it out. A lot of the things that we're going to do is like they'll have these types of, like with the bearing, I forget what these are called, so you'll just be able to slide your workpiece on it. But we could also clamp a straight edge for a fence and then run whatever straight stock through it for, you know, those types of profiles as well. Good morning from the, I already read that. Hello, Dave. Hello, Bonnie. Hello, Linda. Still waiting for our first real snow here in New York. Here we've had plenty of snow this year. Compared to last year, we have had a lot. It snowed last night, and yesterday sporadically. We had snow on Christmas, Northern Germany, very, very, very rare. Ah. Hello, Tia Green. Justin. Justin Cecil. Daryl Brown. Okay. Are there any questions that we can answer here? That's a lot of wood to make 1,000. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm actually going to make 1,000 boards. I think what I should have said is I'm going to make 1,000. I'm going to try to make 1,000 items for the Unfinished Kitchen brand. So that can include like coasters and like spoons, cake knives, that sort of thing. Let me plug this in here. Okay. Now, this router I got a long time ago. I got it brand new, but it came without the adjustable little thing here that made this go up and down. And so it's a real pain in the butt. Also, I don't use it that often because this comes loose over time and then the bit wobbles out. I think I use no, I don't use this one. I use my big router. What was I called? Oh yeah, the shelves. It'll be in the next vlog. You'll actually see I'm like, and I hit a screw. I was pissed. It was a big end mill bit, and so I ruined it. That would actually be perfect for hogging out all of this. This is actually going to take a minute. You know what? It's broken, but it'll still work. Let's set that one up too. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can notice, but my shop is relatively clean. We had Linda out the other day. So this one is quite a bit bigger, but it is very dull. But I think it will work for what we're doing. I don't like this router. It is very inconvenient to use because the adjustable part, whatever, is very stiff. It's a big pain in the butt. But could be worse. Okay. This one also, when it vibrates, because it vibrates, right? Because it's not oscillating, but spinning, and it the whatever this part is called, the jacket, I don't know. It gets loose, and then the body goes through. It is So frustrating. That actually happened with the shelves I was making, but I saved it. I noticed that it was like this deep, and as I went along, so these are the shelves, just for some visual aid. Again, you'll see this in the next vlog, but you can see I put these dados in there, right? And these dados, they were not supposed to be that deep. They were about half that deep. But as I went along, actually, it's this one right here. Can you see that little circle in there, right there, that half circle, or that crescent? That's where I noticed that it was going too deep. I was like, what the heck's happening? And it's because this part was getting loose. So I've actually tightened it up a little bit here. And then, so now it clamps it even tighter, so it won't do that. So then I just made the depth even deeper, and then I hit a freaking screw because I screwed this down onto this work table, and I did that because these are rustic. Doesn't matter if there's holes and stuff. Just the rest of the aesthetic of where I'm putting them in. They actually could be way more beat up than this, but I don't have any old wood. I just had this wood that I actually was going to use for my office project, but I actually just decided not to do that. It was going to be a shelf in my closet, but instead I used some actual shelving units. Anyway, so I decided to use those. They had some character to them, but not a lot, and whatever, I decided to use them. Put a screw in there, just so it would stay down on the table as I routed it, and somehow I made the path that I was cutting right on where I screwed it down, and I didn't realize it. Dummy. Okay, I want to make sure that this is going to be nice and flush. That one is good. And this one is probably not good. It is not. This one I have to do with a screwdriver. Are there any questions? Hello, Amy. No question, but that oak and green board is a beauty. Not my favorite wood, but it is perfect. I know it was a lot of gluing, LOL. It was a lot of gluing, and a little bit of finickiness. That lifetime warranty on the rigid stuff, though. Oh, I didn't know that. I bought this secondhand from a guy who, one of the rudest people I've ever bought something from, but I bought it from him anyway. He was, I don't know, a little desperate. I think he may have had some debts to, let's say, like, not to a governing body, but to people who are even less friendly than him. You know what I mean? Just the way he was acting. I don't know for sure. That's pretty good. Okay, so we got this, and we got the big one. Now this big one, I might have some chip out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape Whoops. That shouldn't have happened. I'm going to tape this. Okay. Okay, this tape might not be good. Where are the garbage cans? Oh, there's one. Missed. And I'm going to have to redraw the line. Oh, come on. I'm going to have to redraw the line, but that's okay. The tape will just help with the chip out. Hopefully. This bit might be too trash. I might regret this. I'm going to start in the middle where it won't matter. Just to see how it behaves. Oh yeah, so what I was saying earlier is that Linda came the other day. And she spent some time in the shop. Cleaned it up. I think she asked me, she's like, is it weird that I like doing this? I was like, cleaning? Yeah, it is weird. I hate it. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, I gotta redraw it, so let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm gonna place this back close to the line that I already chose. So I can see through the tape a little bit. Okay, where's my tape measure? There we go. Okay. Now I could set up a jig so I could do this perfectly, but I'm just gonna freehand this because it's not super important that I get it perfectly whatever fitted, because it's going to be a little bit bigger anyway. I only want to go so deep because this has some countersunk holes so that I can screw it into my work surface. It should be good. Should be good. I like cleaning. I find it therapeutic. I'm a guy, by the way. Hee hee. Egg Shen 6 Demon Bag. I probably would have guessed you were a guy based off that name. How are you able to get things done for your kitchen line, painting, editing, etc.? How are you able to get things done for your kitchen line, painting, editing, etc.? Oh, I don't know exactly what you're asking, but if you're asking like how do I have time for it or how do I choose what to do, well, how I choose what to do is if I have a commission to do something, then I will work on that commission. Like if you follow my Instagram, someone commissioned me to make that little guitar man thing out of just random scrap. She said make it out of whatever, and then she showed me a picture of something that she found online. I was like, oh, I could do something like that, I guess. It's not typically what I build, but you know, it's a nice break from doing something else. I was like, oh, let's get on the welder for a bit. So if it's a quick commission like that I can do in about half an hour, then I'll do that. Like, or for example, on that day, I chose to do that because I wanted to take a break from cutting boards. I was making, I don't know, 4 or 5 cutting boards or whatever. 6. I made 6. 5 or 6. I can't remember. Anyways, I have a new board coming out. It's a banana bread board. So I was experimenting with sizes. And then I was getting frustrated because I was like, this thing looks way too small. But I was comparing it to a banana, or for a bread pan. And I was like, oh, that looks too small, and it's this, and it's that, whatever. So on that particular day, I chose to do that. Then I took a break, went over there, did some welding. Then I came back, did some more of this stuff, cutting board stuff. And then, when I got sick of that, I went inside and then started working on my coffee table book. Who knows when that'll be out. And how I decide what to do is basically, this is not the case every time, but I try to make the most out of my day because being self-employed is not, you don't have guaranteed income. So if you take days off, it shouldn't be a day of laziness unless that's what you need. You know what I mean? So I try to be as productive as I can throughout the day so that so that I'm not, irresponsible with my responsibilities. So it will be based on what I do and how I have time or whatever throughout the day is based off of responsibility, interest, and like creative, like, oh, I got to do that because it's on my mind, you know? Whatever that's called. I don't know if that was your question, but hopefully that answered it. Banana bread board sounds really interesting. It's basically just a cutting board for your banana bread, you know, so you don't contaminate it with all your other stuff, because banana bread is king. Amy likes cleaning also. It's gratifying. Yes, you can sharpen drill bits, but I've never sharpened a bit for routers. Oh, you can sharpen most of them if they are the right type. I don't know how to do that without a jig, and I don't have a jig for that. I have a jig for drill bits. I never sharpen them. I just get new ones because I never get ones that are worth sharpening. Maybe I should. So designs and do-overs. I don't know if that answered your question, but I hope it did. I've never heard of banana bread board before. What the heck? I don't think it's a thing. So, it's just, I like banana bread. It's the best bread. And I figured it would be fun to do that. I'm doing it in collaboration with Practical Homestead. So if you don't know who Practical Homestead is, follow her on Instagram. I think that's what her Instagram is, at Practical Homestead. She makes reusable covers. Remember how I said keep your cheese clean? It was because of her product. Okay? So, by the way, we're also partnering with her, potentially, maybe I'm speaking too soon, with some of our cheese boards as well. So, keep your cheese clean. I freaking love that I said that. That's hilarious. Do you have a good banana bread recipe? I would say most banana bread recipes are good as long as you make it good. Do I have a favorite banana bread recipe would probably be a better question. And the answer is probably, but I don't know what it is because I hardly ever make it. Ashley makes it, and I'm sure she followed the same recipe more than once. But I'm not actually sure if she has. We just kind of have a rule. Use frozen bananas. Use overripe bananas that have been overripened on your counter, not in your fridge. And then freeze them for a period of 2-ish weeks or so, or longer. And then thaw them, use those, and put in at least half a banana more than your recipe calls for. And you will have a good banana bread as long as you don't overbake it. The point of using overripe bananas, of course, is for their flavor. Some people put in yellow or green bananas. Yellow bananas are still acceptable. That's what your grocery store banana bread will be made out of. Green bananas, I don't know why people do that. It really bugs me because it's hard to ruin something that's so delicious, but that comes close. It's still eatable, but it's not as enjoyable as your rotten banana bread. That's the best. And then the point of putting in an extra banana is so that it's more banana-y on the inside. I don't like a doughy banana bread. I like a banana-y, soft, moist banana bread. The freezing of the bananas helps with a moist banana bread. So even if you don't put an extra banana in it, to me it's better. I don't like that gas station. I mean, I do like that banana bread because it's still banana bread, still has a good flavor to it, but it's very dry. You know what I mean? So I like it, and I'm sure there's some sort of cooking standard that goes into that they have to meet for FDA approval or whatever the heck it is. You need to have like things cooked a certain way to be able to sell it. But for myself, if you're making one at home, frozen bananas that have been thawed, that are black, and an extra banana so that you have a nice, moist, heavy, dense banana bread. I don't know how to explain it. And this is odd to people. I like a cool banana bread. I don't like a warm banana bread as much. I like it when it's been chilled, and I like it with butter. Margarine is an okay substitute, but butter is really where it's at. especially a salted butter. I don't like unsalted butter, so I don't know what your guys' preferences would be on that, but if you're asking me, that's what it's got to be. I don't have a favorite recipe per se, I don't think. Maybe I do. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Oh, Matthew's going to bed. Good night, Matthew. Oh, wait. No, he said go to bed. That's like, he says that almost as much as he says something about dead goats. I'm going to use old ones from now on, says Leslie. Yeah, it's way better. Now, of course, that's going to be on preference, because you might not like that. The sight of the sight of old bananas is not pleasant, and the smell of them is not very pleasant either if you can see them. Somehow, if you can't see them, you're like, bananas. But when you see them, somehow the smell of them is not so pleasant anymore. It's funny. But they have a very good flavor to them in banana bread. Not so much if you just eat the actual fruit by itself. It doesn't taste as good. I like a yellow banana that has just started getting some brown spots on it. That's a perfect banana flavor for the fruit for me. If you're asking Johnny B, he likes them when they're just turning yellow. It seems he likes them when they're green still. I don't like those. They taste like the peel, and the peels don't taste good to me. So I don't. They're not appealing. So I don't know how people can eat those. My bananas are one day more. Are on one more day of over ripening. Nice. Made banana bread with my son just the other day. Came out pretty good, and we didn't use any nuts either. Oh yeah, nuts. Nuts are. I will still eat a nutty banana bread. Again, I love banana bread, so I will still eat it, but I don't get it. They don't taste better with nuts. The nuts taste fine by themselves usually. I like a few different types, but in banana bread, it's just, I don't know. It's just like, hey, I'm not like, the squirrel joke thing is old and overplayed for me. So it's not like I'm not a squirrel, so I don't eat nuts. It's more so those don't taste good in there, so don't put them in there. You know what I mean? Nuts taste good in turtles, the chocolate turtles. Let's go see if we have any. See, whatever nuts those are, they taste good in there. They go. O. Henry bars, peanuts. Those taste good in an O. Henry bar. And so I will eat them in an O. Henry bar. But in banana bread, not that you put peanuts in banana bread, but this doesn't make any sense. Okay, we don't. Oh, Reese's? Definitely good. Okay, I don't have any O. Henry, and I don't have any. What was the other chocolate bar that I said? Turtles. I usually do, but you can see we're running a little low. By the way, if you ever come to my shop, feel free to open that drawer and grab yourself a chocolate bar. I don't get very many visitors anymore. Not that I ever got a lot, but you know, these days, even less. Chef Josh, banana bread. Yeah, chocolate chips, on the other hand, great in banana bread. They add to it. They enhance it. Is there a goal in 2022 for you to reach, or a project just waiting to get done? Okay, so if you watch my Happy New Year or whatever I titled it video, we went over 5 goals. I told you that I failed on last year's goals for various reasons. I did one goal, of course, which was to get into another gallery. But the goals that I failed on were building a greenhouse, which we decided not to do on purpose. Building a deck, which we decided not to do on purpose. So I wouldn't say those are failed. Those are postponed because of the prices of wood. So those we didn't do. The first one, let's say, that I did do. So that's 3. 4 was coffee table book. I started working on that, but that takes so much energy, so I don't work on it a lot. Number 5 was, I guess it wasn't that important. I don't remember what it was. Does anyone else remember what it was? I can't remember. But this year's goals, hold on a second, I think I have it. I already said greenhouse. I can't remember. This year's goals, we have finished my upstairs. Maybe minus the kitchen, because I want to do my kitchen with my grandfather. So if he can't come, I'm not going to do it. But finish my upstairs of my house before next year. Number 2, geez, I don't remember them all. Do 1,000 cutting boards. Number 3, I have them written on my fridge. Oh, put in my floor. That was one of them, which I guess should be included in the upstairs, but it wasn't. Will your coffee table book have wooden legs? Oh, push-ups. That push-ups. Yeah, push-ups. Do 100 push-ups was the other one. A day for a year. I did complete that one. Oh no, that was for the year before, wasn't it? Yeah, that was for the year before. I can't remember what all my goals were. Oh, the other one was open a pop-up art gallery. And I could have done that, I suppose. It would have been kind of dumb to do that, where I have a place in mind that may or may not work out based on logistics. So that was a goal that I didn't do, but I couldn't do it because the space that I was going to do it in wasn't available for various reasons. And if I had done it elsewhere, it probably would have been maybe minorly successful, I suppose, but would have been dumb because it wouldn't have been what I wanted it to be necessarily. But I didn't even look into it. So a little irresponsible on my part in terms of trying to succeed at these goals, but I chose not to do those ones, which is a poor excuse, but it is an excuse nonetheless. So this year, vacation is another one. Yeah. Finish upstairs. Do my floor. Vacation. What was the other things I said? I can't even remember. But there are other goals, like mini goals, that aren't worth necessarily like posting on the fridge. Not that those ones are either, but I don't know. Is there a shop goal? I would like to buy or acquire at least a saw stop cutter. Saw. I would like a saw stop cutter. So here we have a tandem table saw, right? This is Clint's table saw. It's a nice cabinet saw. It's an old boy, but it's good. And then we got this girl over here. This is what we have the dado stack in. We need a clearance plate in there, but whatever, it works. This is not a cabinet saw. It kind of looks like a cabinet saw from the front, but it's got the motor in the back and stuff, and it's got open sides. I like having them tandem like that, so we are going to continue to have those two, but I would also like a saw stop, because we need a new saw. Well, we don't need a new saw. This saw is getting a little worn out here and there, so you have to keep making adjustments to it as you're cutting, otherwise your cuts will be untrue. And if I get a new saw, I want to get a saw stop. I get a lot of comments about people telling me to use push sticks and stuff, and I understand where you're coming from. I will use a push stick every single time that I think I need to use a push stick. Other people's opinion on when you need to use a push stick will be you should always use a push stick, and I understand that as good practice. That is just kind of frustrating to have to use a push stick sometimes. If I'm getting super close to the blade, I will definitely use a push stick because I don't want to cut my fingers off. I believe the reason why I haven't cut my fingers off yet is because I'm careful. And some people will disagree with that, but I guess it depends on how you define careful. For me, I will never become complacent. I will never think that I'm stronger than the table saw. I will never think that I can't get cut by the table saw. I know that I can, just any saw really. I'm careful. Again, others may disagree. Bosch made a better version of the saw stop that didn't destroy the blades when triggered, and saw stop soothed the crap out of them. Yes, those were only available in Europe areas. They never brought them here. I think I could be mistaken about that, but I was thinking about getting that. But I believe they just had the contractor saw, right? They didn't have a cabinet saw. I don't know if that's true necessarily, but that's what I think I remember about that. SawStop patented that technology or whatever, so that's why they sued. Until it becomes whatever you call it, free domain. I don't know if that's how you refer to it. They will be the only ones who are able to offer that. They make a good saw, regardless, as do many other companies. And there are pros and cons to the saw stop. One of them, destroying the blade and needing a new brake. I'm not looking forward to that because you can't cut wet wood. You can't cut reclaimed wood if it's got nails and shit in it. Obviously, you want to take the nails out if you see them. Someone sent me, I believe it was Brian. He sent me this, and you've seen me use it in a vlog, at least one vlog. I use it all the time. This is a metal detector. So if it gets close to metal, obviously I know there's metal in there. It'll beep, and then I'll know that there's a nail in the board still. But sometimes you miss them if you're just doing a visual, check, and then you put that through the saw, you wreck your blade. But a saw stop, as far as I know, based off of the reviews and stuff that I've seen on YouTube, that'll catch your blade, and that sucks. Because I use a lot of reclaimed, which you guys would know. That I would cut on this saw here. The new saw would be like for all the new stock. That's a great rule for driving. I don't know what I said about that. I cut my finger last year on the table saw. Yeah, absolutely happens. You know what's funny? The one time I cut myself on the table saw, I was using a push stick, which is very ironic. Let me demonstrate how we did that, or how I did that, how we did that. It was no one's fault but my own. Okay, so another thing people hate is how I leave the blade up so high when I'm cutting shallow material. Let's go like this. Okay, so if I'm cutting shallow material, I don't put it down all the time. I do sometimes, but you hear that? That is grating. That is why I don't do it. This needs some tuning, so that it's more smooth. Anyways, that's why I don't move it so much. Okay, but let me show you what I was doing. Okay, so let's say I was cutting this piece here, okay? We have the fence really close. Oh, you're not going to be able to see. Let me move you over to here. Okay. So here, it is wise to use a push stick. Let's say I was using this push stick. Actually, let's say I was using an actual push stick. Actually, you know what? No, let's say we're using this because this is something that I was using. Something like this. I was pushing it through, right? Just imagine that's being cut. And somehow, we had a binding issue. And I'm not sure what was causing that exactly. So as I was pushing it through, it was getting a little stuck. So I backed off a little bit, and then I pushed it through again. And then it kind of bit funny. And as I was pushing it, it let go, and I pushed forward. On that saw, my clearance plate had a bigger hole on this side. See how this one has a big hole here? Well, it had a bigger hole on the other side as well, and my push stick went into the hole, like say it went down here, and as it did that, my finger touched really close to the blade. Like I went like that, basically like that fast, okay? And as I did that, my piece got destroyed. It went flying somewhere. And I was like, huh, that was close. And I look at my hands. I happened to be gluing and staining as well during that time. So my hands, if you glue with your finger, it'll like get hard on your hand and it'll turn black, whatever. Anyways, I was staining as well, so my hands were full of stain. I remember I was making this bench. I think it was a bench anyway. And as my finger, because I was holding the push stick like this, my finger went down and the blade made a little clean spot right on my fingertip. So just the kerf of the blade width just made a little clean spot. So it only took off a couple layers of skin. I didn't even feel it. I felt it a little bit later, where you know when you just have a small cut and you can kind of feel a little irritation. I felt that later. So I just narrowly missed getting my finger damaged. But yeah, I was hoping you'd have some kind of cover. There are covers. I won't say most people take them off, but I will say a lot of people take them off because they often get in the way depending on what you're cutting. And then there'll also be a writhing knife as well, which I always take off because it's almost always connected to the guard. The guard is just, it's annoying. Many people will keep them on, especially people who have had accidents, and there may come a day that I will change my mind on how I operate the table saw. But like I say, I am as careful as I can be with a little irresponsibility sprinkled in. Does that make sense? I grabbed the board from the back of the saw. I thought I cut it completely off. It chewed the tip off. Bosch should do what Singer did. Buy up the competition. Singer bought whatever that company is, Husqvarna and Viking. They probably do own quite a bit of companies, just like Black & Decker. Yeah, Black & Decker used to be a good tool company. I have an old Black & Decker, I think it's a sander. But now Black & Decker is one of the most garbagey tool brands there is. It's not even suitable for homeowner, as a homeowner brand. Like you'll see like tools geared towards the homeowner that are just like, hey, you every once in a while need a screw gun, so here's a screw gun for you. This is like a 12-volt thing that you can use to screw in your light bulbs. That would be hilarious if you needed a drill to screw in your light bulbs. But you know, whatever, just for a little thing. I don't even think they should be made. It is a waste of material, and therefore a waste to the environment. I think they should not exist. I think they are owned by DeWalt, as is Stanley and a few other brands. I like DeWalt, and I think I like DeWalt because I use their batteries, because I bought their drills first. People will say that, you know, Milwaukee makes the best drill and DeWalt might make the best something, right? And that's probably true. But I already have these batteries, so I use these batteries. Now normally, okay, this is mostly worn off, but you can see it used to be spray painted. But it's worn off over time. Where did all my drills go? Oh, okay, so all the spray paint has worn off over the time, but usually I'll spray paint them because, you know, DeWalt doesn't pay me to advertise their name or whatever, so I'll just spray paint it because you know, whatever. Some people are like, no, you gotta keep your tools nice and clean, and that's a sign of a good worker and whatever. True, in a sense, but does it matter? If the tool still works good, then who cares? To me, and people don't steal tools that look like this. This still works perfectly good. It just looks ugly. No one's going to buy that. And no one's going to steal that for someone to buy. Someone might steal that for themselves, but usually when people steal tools, it's because they're going to go to a pawn shop and sell them for like, you know, $30 or whatever for a big bin of tools. For me, to avoid that, I just spray paint them. I didn't spray paint these yet, and maybe I'll make a video about it. No free advertising, and a lesser risk of theft. What was the next question here? Always treat your car like your table saw. Be afraid of it, or respect it. Don't be afraid of it, because then you'll handle it in an unsafe manner as well. Because you won't have confidence, and you'll be a little loosey-goosey with your technique. So respect it, yeah. Respect it, because it certainly does not respect you. It doesn't care. It does not care what happens to you, because it doesn't have any feelings, because it's not sentient. I like my Craftsman tools as a personal preference. Craftsman, not a bad tool brand. To me, not a great tool brand, but not bad. Not bad. I would say they're on par with like a I would say they're on par with, you know, it's hard to say. I don't know who they're on par. They're better than Black & Decker. That's what I'll say. My dad loved DeWalt and made DeWalt yellow wooden boxes to keep them in. He even had the DeWalt radio. Yeah, lots of people have that. I'm a DeWalt man. All my battery operated tools are DeWalt. All my hand tools are Cobalt. Yeah, all my battery operated tools are DeWalt. Now I will say that I have hesitated on getting a reciprocating saw that is battery powered, because Milwaukee makes the best recip saw. And I think that's because they invented it. My jigsaw is a Bosch, and the reason why it's a Bosch is because Bosch invented the jigsaw. They make the best one, in my opinion. It's just far superior. It's the best one I've ever used. Ever. And I've used several. This sander here is a Bosch. And the reason why I got this palm sander as a Bosch is because it came with a free sander on the side. I don't know who makes the best palm sander. Probably like Festool or someone like that, who's just too expensive for me. Festool is probably one of the best tool brands, has a very good reputation, but holy shit, are they ever ugly. I don't like them even a little bit. And like, if you ever see someone who uses Festool, they have like all their, it looks like they have a wall of fax machines. They look terrible. Their carrying cases look so stupid. I don't know if everyone will agree with me, but I think that they should move to something different. They look dumb. They look like a bunch of old computers. They look dumb. I like my, okay, read that. Craftsman is also owned by Stanley Black & Decker. Haha. Okay, that makes sense. That does make sense, because Rona, so here in Canada, we have a store called Rona that was recently acquired by Lowe's. And they actually have the same colors. They're blue and gray. Although Lowe's, I think, has yellow in them as well. But I can't remember. But anyways, when they were acquired by Lowe's, they switched from Stanley to Craftsman as their in-house brand. So that makes sense, I guess. They just went to a sister company or whatever. So far, I just have the DeWalt oscillating saw. Oscillating saw? What is that? Oscillating saw? What is that? I don't know what that is. Hello, Jules from Shropshire? That's an interesting name. Jimmy DeResta paints his DeWalt's white because he isn't sponsored by them. He has been sponsored by them 2 times, and he does not like his relationship with them, which I think is hilarious. As far as I can surmise from how he talks about them on his podcast. Yeah. He does paint them white, doesn't he? I just paint mine whatever color, and I don't even paint the whole thing. I usually just paint out the name and the handle and the battery a little bit. This is so old that it doesn't have. Look, see, this one I spray painted burgundy. You can see a little bit on the handle still. You can see there's some white on there too. Has some PL on the trigger. That was probably annoying on that day. Hello, Ron. My son's girlfriend just bought him the full kit of DeWalt tools. Ah, the starter kit. That's great because you can also get a free tool with it. I almost got that when I bought these, well, one of these, because these don't come with batteries, and the starter kit does. And if this would have come free, I would have gotten the starter kit because these are $200 and some, and the starter kit is $500. So I was like, and a battery is $100. So I was like, I can get way more tools for not that much of a price. But this wasn't one of the free tools that came in the pack, so I didn't get it. I had a Canadian Tire brand Mastercraft screwdriver fail, and they gave me another one, no questions asked. Yes, Canadian Tire has lifetime warranty on their Ultimate package. That's what I have. All my mechanic tools, which are in here, they're right there, are all Mastercraft Maximum, or whatever it is. I have a few Snap-on stuff, but those were all gifted to me from my brother Dave. My brother Dave uses Snap-on, I think, mostly. I'm not sure why they're better. They also have a lifetime warranty. Perhaps they are extremely better, but it might just be the mechanic culture to have like Snap-on or Mac or Matco or something like that. Those high-end, or I don't know if they're high-end, but those name brands that are associated with professional mechanics. I don't care. I don't care what the brand is at all. And also, I will spray paint or scratch the name off, so no one would even know anyway. Or I'm sure people would know if they looked hard enough at the name or whatever, right, or the shape or whatever. But I don't have that. I don't care. A lot of people do care because it makes them look a certain way to people, and that doesn't make sense to me, because just because you own something doesn't mean that someone's going to like you better or think more highly of you. At least I don't think that about people. I may like someone's possessions, but that's because I want the possession, not because that person is awesome. And yeah, it's usually not because of the name. I don't think it's ever because of the name that's been engraved on it or whatever. I don't think it's ever because of the, like, even growing up, like, see how this says Vans? A lot of kids, or whoever, any age, will be like, oh, Vans, that is a popular brand amongst skaters, I guess. I want to be a skater, I'm going to wear Vans so people think I don't care, I'm not a skater, I like this hoodie, I like their shoes, I happen to be wearing their shoes right now, but look at these. Absolute garbage look to them, and I don't care. I guess I just don't care what I look like, clearly. And there's nothing wrong with liking what you look like. There's nothing wrong with vanity if it's not coming from an unhealthy spot of maybe insecurity or thinking you're better than someone else, stuff like that. Again, opinions will vary. A sawzall oscillates. It jiggles back and forth. Does not spin. Oh, a reciprocating saw. It reciprocates. Isn't that different? Oscillating is like this. Like an oval pattern, is it not? Spinning is like just in a circle. But, reciprocating is back and forth. Oscillating is like in an oval. Like, if this is the blade. Does that make sense? Reciprocating saw does not do that. Like a jigsaw is a reciprocating saw as well. $600 for a starter kit. You're asking a question? Yeah, something like that. Like it comes with like a circular saw, a drill, I think a reciprocating saw, and a flashlight, I think. I don't know exactly. It's a good deal, whatever it comes with, though. I'm learning so much because I'm not shop savvy or tool savvy. From now on, I will give my hubby better tools. Thanks. If he doesn't use them that often, he may not need the better tool. But just even think, like DeWalt, the DeWalt that I got from Rona will have a certain serial number on it. Let's see if we can spot the difference. Okay, so I got 3 here. Okay, these are the same. I think this is my new one. Oh, this is the same too. Ah, there we go. Okay, no, it is different. Okay, this is a Rona one, or like a Lowe's or a Home Depot or whatever, right? That's where this will be sold. Same with this one. These are the same drill and or impact. This is not my bit. This is a rigid. That is a piece of shit. That's probably Clint's bit. That's my bit. That's way better. This is a Milwaukee bit. Very good bit. Same with that one. You can tell they're mine because they're red. Okay, so this one I bought from KMS. The serial numbers on these, or the part number or whatever, are DCF885, okay? It's a 1/4 inch impact driver. This one here from Rona, or Home Depot, or wherever I got it, is a Type 2. It's 20 volt max, whatever. This one is a Type 4. I don't know if that means it's better because it's got a higher number, but this one I paid probably the same amount, but I got it from an actual tool store, not a home store. And I imagine its internal parts are better than this one. And in fact, it's actually could just be my imagination, but it feels like it might be a little heavier. These both have brushes on here. I also have this other impact. Oh, I almost fell. Almost tripped. This one is completely different. This is a DC F787, and this is a Type 10. This is considerably better. This is a brushless motor, and then there's one that's better than this. I don't care if it's brushless or has brushes. Like, to me, they're the same. Oh, this one has 3 lights. This one only has 1. This one probably works a lot better, and I don't notice it. The one thing I hate about it is how fat the frickin' grip is. This one is way more ergonomic. It just feels better in the hand. This one costs more, except for I got it on sale for this one and a screwdriver, which is also brushless, which is somewhere right there. Let me see if I can show you the difference between the screwdriver. Okay, these ones still have the spray paint all over them, so they're going to be a little harder to read. This is a CD771, no, BCD, this one. No, it's DC. Okay, I can't read that shit because it's all spray painted. But look at this is a Type 2. Come on. This is a type 1. Type 1, type 2, they look the same as far as I can tell. Okay, so one of these was bought from KMS, one of them was bought from Home Depot or whatever, and then this one was bought from KMS. See the difference in the body shape? This one's brushless. You see how it has a different ass end? Anyway, this one, I can notice the difference in how this drills. But again, it has a super fat grip that I hate. It's not as ergonomic as the whatever. But I don't care if it's brushless or not. When I need a new screw gun, I will go get a new screw gun. And even if I don't need one, I will often get them anyway, because we have lots of people who work in here at different times. And so we can use multiple screw guns, so they can just be kind of anywhere, and you can just go grab it without having to, switch out bits or wait your turn or anything like that. It's just oh, there's one right there. I will use that one. You know what I mean? So when they're on sale, I will usually buy them because they're, I don't know, $500 or something like that. For like the brushless ones, these ones are usually probably like $290 or something like that. They come as a pack, they're paired like this. They both come with batteries. And then when they're on sale, they're $189, I think. And I'm like, deal! Sometimes they're even cheaper than that. Like they'll be like $149. That's like the best time to get them. I'll usually buy 2 or something like that. Or that and something else that happens to be on sale with it. Like sometimes it'll be drills and it'll be paired with like tape measures. Tape measures I will always get if they're on sale because I lose them. I am an engraver and I had a tool from a hardware shop around 20 euros, but it lasted till October last year. Now I'm waiting to get a Dremel. Hope it is as good as I am told. If you get Dremel from Dremel, it should be very good. I have this old Dremel. This thing is like from like the 80s or something. Let's see if there's a year on it. There might not be. It doesn't say. But this thing is awesome, and it's old as dirt. You can see I gummed it up a little bit here on this burr bit. And then I taped so that it has a bigger handle. If you notice, like, I got this idea from tattoo artists when they have like their machine, right? It's like this thick, but they tape a big ball around it, and I think that's so it's more comfortable to hold. This could be a lot thicker too. I just didn't. That's just hockey tape. I think that's a good way to have your little rotary tools that you as a pen grip. It's nice. It has various attachments, semicircular blades, some without teeth, and a triangular sanding pad. It's corded because I'm not interested in the extra weight of the battery. Oh! I know what you're talking about. I have one of those. Mine is also corded, not because I care about the weight, it's because it's just way more powerful with the cord. This thing, you have this. These are awesome. If you are doing like, get one of these even if you think you'll never use it, because when it comes time to use it, you'll be so thankful that you have it. These are amazing. I guess that's oscillating. It's like, does this really fast. I don't know. Is that oscillating? I don't know. Maybe I don't know the definition of oscillating. Dude, those are sick. I would recommend a corded one over a battery one because it will drain the battery really fast. But I'm sure a corded one or a battery one has its place. Yeah, those are freaking awesome. Those are awesome. I wish I had a shop to use tools. I live in an apartment, so my woodworking consists of small-scale wood burning. Wood burning. I love that. I wish you had a shop too, because people who are creative, who have no space to. Is that called an outlet? Whatever. That's a bummer. Do you have a joiner splinter? On what applications would you use it? In what applications? Do you have a joiner splinter? I don't know what that is. A joiner splinter? If you're asking if I have a jointer, there's one right here. I gave one away to a friend in a previous vlog, and then I have another one. Oh, you can't see it, but it's right there. It's right under the bench there. But I don't think that's what you're asking about. Rigid and Milwaukee are also the same parent company, owned by the same parent. Yeah, Rigid is shit, and so is Ryobi, and Ryobi is also owned by them. Milwaukee is very good. Matthew wants a chocolate bar. My Black & Decker battery oppressed screwdriver my late grandfather gave me has served me well. Hey, sometimes it's all you need. Like I have this Black & Decker right here. This was my first drill. Okay? Clint uses this stupid thing all the time. In fact, there's another one. So one of them I bought for like $17, and the other one I got at the dump. Oh, this one's got dead battery. These are absolute junk to me. What is this? This is an 18 volt trash. But if your grandfather gave it to you, it's probably old, in which case it's probably good. Although you said it's battery powered, right? So it's probably, I probably wouldn't find it good. But it doesn't matter. If it works, if it serves your use, then that's fine. The reason why I'll pick up tools like this is because I usually will give them away to someone. So rather than them go into the garbage, even though that's what I think they should go, I don't even think they should be made actually, because I think that's a waste of material and resources and money and everything like that. Someone will find use out of them, and that's where I'll give them to. Like these, I gave to Caden. I wish I never bought the one that I did, but I'm glad that I saved the one from the dump because again, that's a waste. Again, if it works for you, then it doesn't matter, because then in that case it would not be a waste. Oscillating is side to side. Well, you know what I'm thinking? Orbiting, not oscillating. Sorry, that's what was making me confused. Yeah, oscillating side to side. Yeah. I was thinking orbiting. I found some nice tools in antique shops and estate sales as well. I have a huge issue with companies that move factories overseas, and I refuse to buy from them once they do that. They often do that because people will stop buying their tools at the prices that they need to charge for them because of what they have to pay their workers. And me personally, I do not mind paying more for a tool if it's a good tool. Like these are made in the US. They're not made in China. These are made in Mexico, I think. And then the brushless ones will be made in the US. We don't have any made in Canada. I don't think DeWalt makes anything in Canada, but they make in the US and in Mexico. You can usually tell if it has Spanish on the box. In Canada, it will also have, like just their packaging, it will have French on the box, but that's just because we have to have French on our packaging. Unless you're in, no, I think everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. But yeah, oftentimes tools or any manufacturing will be moved overseas to save money. Sometimes that's selfish, sometimes that's necessity. Probably all the time it's selfish, and sometimes it's necessity, just so that they can continue to make stuff that people will actually buy. But it's kind of like if everyone didn't use China to pay, you know, small wages or whatever, then everyone would be forced to pay whatever the price is. Like, what is a thing that keeps going up? Like, if your phone was made not in Korea, or I don't know what Koreans, how much, like an iPhone is made in China, right? And assembled in California or whatever. So those things that are made in China, the your iPhone is like 1,500 bucks or something like that. But if it was made in America, fully made in America, it'd probably be like 3 grand or something like that. Because our wages, or in the U.S., I'm not American, or I don't live in America or in the U.S., so I don't know. I know that their wages, their minimum wages, like fluctuate. Here, I think we have a federal minimum wage requirement of $15 an hour, and I think in the U.S. you're not there everywhere yet. I don't know exactly, but anyway, you guys know this already. Like, it's just some things they cost a lot because labor is a lot. Like my skylight, I could have gotten one that was a Chinese skylight for I think 300 bucks, but I got mine made locally, so it was 1,300 bucks, and it's way better. So there's also that, and also I could customize it to my liking. It probably would have cost less than that if I didn't make it so like it opened and was triple paned and all that kind of stuff. But that's what I wanted, and I also don't. Of course, I buy some stuff that are made in China because that's just the nature of buying stuff. But if I can buy it locally, that's usually what I will do, or something that's made in Canada, US, or Mexico, I will usually buy that. Like if I were to buy a, I don't know, clothes, probably a lot of them are made in China. That I have to admit that I don't know where my clothes are made, so I don't know. $7.75 in the U.S. I don't know what that translates in Canadian dollars. That's probably closer to like $10 or $11. Our minimum wage keeps going up. I think it might be 16 something here in Alberta now, which is kind of a bummer in one sense. It's good that these people make that money, but what sucks for me is when I pay someone, the cost or my earnings haven't gone up that much, construction wise. So when I pay someone as a laborer, I pay them $20 an hour to $25 an hour, usually $20, but that's not very much more than minimum wage. It used to be a lot more than minimum wage, so it was good for them to make $20 an hour. Now it's kind of like meh, but I can't really afford to pay them a lot more unless they're very good. If they're very good, of course they'll make more. Like when I hire my brother Dakota, I will pay him $25 an hour, and not because he's my brother. It's just because he's good at it. And sometimes I'll pay him $30 an hour. It just depends on what kind of job we're doing. And then like if it's someone who I just hire off the street, so to speak, like off of Craigslist or whatever. Again, we don't really use Craigslist here, but like Kijiji, I usually will only pay them $20 an hour. If they absolutely suck, then I will send them home early, and I will just pay them for the amount of time they were there and for their gas. Because, dude, there are some people who are liars who who need money, and that's a shame that they lie about their skill set, but it happens, and I feel bad for them. And if they're not disrespectful, then I will still pay them. But I can't afford to have someone suck the whole job usually. But I don't do too much construction anymore, especially where I will need to hire someone. So that's not an issue anymore. Hello, be a kind you. Oh, hey. Miranda, I think. I can't remember your name. Hi, Josh. I got my package last week. Thank you. I love it. I'm glad you love it. The $15 Canadian minimum wage is in Alberta only and was an NDP thing, so not going up. $14.25 in Ontario. Okay. One of depending on your political affiliations and opinions, that is either really good or really bad, in my opinion. Not that it's necessarily warranted. That is one of the few good things that they've done. They've done other good things, of course, as does any government, but I hate some of the other stuff they've done. One thing during like the whole COVID thing, There are places that are hiring, like McDonald's is hiring at $18 an hour, which just goes to show when they say that they can't afford to pay their workers $15 an hour, they're lying. Now they have to pay someone because no one's working. They're like, $18 an hour. Dude, you could have done that the whole time. That's a huge corporation, so of course they could have done that, but there's a lot of places that, you know, people are entitled as owners and CEOs and whatever to make wages that they may deem acceptable for themselves, but oftentimes you're just like, bro, what is up with not paying your workers good? I could never do that. So if I can't afford to pay my employees, I just don't have employees. I don't have any employees now anymore, but when I did, like I've been broke ass so many times, and I'm like, well, dude, I can't pay you, so after this job or the next job or whatever it is, if I don't get another one, dude, you need to find another job. And like I try to let them know so that they don't hold on for the next job, because like they can't, it's not fair to them to, like, I never give I never take away pay, you know what I mean? So if I say it's $20 or $25, it's not like, oh, sorry, now it's $21. Sorry, you used to make 25. I'll never do that. As long as I can help it anyway. I'll never intentionally do that. I get it for smaller business, but the big corporations are just greedy AF. Yeah. Probably that's true most of the time. And perhaps all the time. It's hard to know for sure because people are still people, right? Like I'm still me. I hope that people like working for me, but I'm certain that there are people who hated working for me, depending on, you know, attitude and whatever, our relationship with each other. Like even my brother Dakota, he has not liked working for me at times because he hasn't been good at certain jobs, perhaps, or as good as I was hoping him to be, and it's frustrating, right? And so I'll just be like, you know, I'll get upset about something or whatever, and he will get upset at me. Like it's happened a couple times, and I'm sure that's happened with other people. But I hope at the end of the day, after those issues are resolved, that people are like, oh, he's a good guy to work for because he pays good. He allows, you know, whatever, unlimited smoke breaks if you smoke. I don't smoke, but, you know, you can take the day off if you need to. There is no like, oh man, I gotta lie to my guy, tell him that, like if someone felt like they needed to lie to me about why they needed a day off, just like people do in, you know, wherever they work, they're like, oh, I gotta tell my boss that my grandma died so that I'll get the day off. I never want anyone to have to think that they need to lie to me to get the day off. Just ask for the day off and then you get the day off, because people need the day off. There doesn't always have to be a good reason to you to have a day off. It's frustrating when you are counting on someone, but people sometimes just need the day off for no other reason than just needing a day off. I do. I need days off. Like yesterday, I just did errands. I didn't even come in the shop, I don't even think. Did I? No, I did come into the shop, but like I didn't hardly do anything. So, because I needed the day off, or I felt like I needed the day off. I mean, we still did all my errands, and I did some stuff inside and whatnot. But the day before, I worked the whole day, and the day before that, you know, whatever. People are different. Sierra has heart eyes for some reason. CEOs make something like 200 times the average worker at the workplace. Yeah, CEOs used to only be able to make 40% more than their lowest paid employee. And I think that makes sense. But I don't know why that has changed. Like, what was the justification for it? I know why it has changed. Greed, or maybe not even greed, but something else. But what was the reasoning where they're like, no, I need to make astronomically more than I can pay my workers? I think if you have a good place to work at, you will have a better product, and then more people will buy that product. More people, this is probably not true, But it seems as though you may get more sales if you have a more ethically produced product than a smaller price product if everyone is doing it and only some people are doing the cheaper product that people will know is unethical. You know what I mean? If everyone's doing the cheap product, you're just going to go for the cheapest. You know what I mean? But maybe not. I could be completely wrong. I don't have no business degree or anything. All I know is what I know. And I know how I feel. And I know how other people say they feel. Oftentimes their actions speak differently, but you know, people are different. Hello. One guy I knew would take a mental health day off once in a while, but his rule was to have to stay home if you do that. If people ask for a day off for me, I don't care what you're doing. I just hope that you're honest, not pretending that you're taking it off for whatever. Like, if someone says, yo, dude, I don't want to come into work today because I'm going to be playing Minecraft. I don't know why I chose Minecraft. Then that's the reason. Whatever. That sucks for me. And if they do it too often, then I would just be like, well, sorry, we can't work with you because we can't depend on you. But if it's once in a while, I want to have an environment where people love working here. Like, if I eventually, like, I have Steve working with me. In fact, I'm actually expecting him. I wonder if he's texted me. He is not. Maybe he is not coming. He was going to pick up some tools to borrow, but he has not come yet, which is weird. Anyways, Steve's working in here. I hope that he likes it. I hope when Linda is here, I hope that she likes it. I hope when the next whoever, if there is a next whoever, I hope they like working here. I hope they want to come to work rather than have to come to work. Like, when I worked at this styrofoam plant, I hated going to work. When I worked for the city, I hated going to work. You could get off 10 minutes early. Actually, it was the rule. You had to get off 10 minutes early. So the end of the day was 3. So at 2:50, actually at 2:48, you could start walking to the locker room, so that you could leave the building at 3 o'clock. The thing was stupid though, is because you got paid till 3, so you had to stay in the building till 3. But you couldn't stay longer unless you were working overtime. Probably some union thing, I don't know. I wasn't part of the union because I was a temporary worker, but you'd come to work, you could start at your start time, 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock. I think it was 7. So you could start at 7, then you had to take your breaks. So you got 2 15s and a half an hour. You had to take all of them. And you could come late, but you couldn't leave late. That could be wrong. I can't remember exactly. That was a long time ago. But anyways, I hated going to work. What I liked doing is I liked the ride to work because I carpooled with Scott was his name. And except for when he took his motorcycle, I was like, dude, I gotta ride, bitch. Like, 2 dudes on a motorcycle, there's nothing less manlier than that. So I'm just like holding on to this guy when I had to, but usually I was just like, I'm gonna hang on to the freaking sissy bar here or nothing, because this is really awkward. Anyways, we would ride to work. I hated that because it was cold, because it was October. But when we would drive, then that was fine. Then, you know, we'd drive in his truck or whatever. I liked that because we'd listen to the radio, you know, bullshit, whatever. Then we'd get into the parking lot, and as soon as, like, we get off the Yellowhead, which is the road, the highway, turn into the airport, or I'd see the airport, the old airport anyway, and then we'd turn, and I'd see Epcor or whatever it was, Epcor, I think. Then we would turn again, and I'd be like, there's the gate. We'd go through the gate, and we'd go find a parking spot, and I'd just be like, like, you know that feeling where you just, all right, let's go make some money. Walk slowly into the building, and then once you're in there, then you just, in my case, I was a laborer, so I would decommission police cars or ambulances or fire trucks or sharpened lawnmower blades or Zamboni blades or put together dump trucks, or sometimes I would smash paint off of paint hooks, stack pallets, help the sandblaster dude. By the way, sandblasting. If you're ever sandblasting, that shit hurts. That shit hurts. Wear the protective hood thing. It's like a leather smock, I guess, with like gloves attached to it. Wear that. Don't ever not wear that, because that is painful. If you ever been in a windstorm where there's sand and dirt and stuff, like that kind of hurts. This is like 100 times worse than that. It's just like you'll sandblast. Like the sandblaster we had was like it was like holding one of these. Okay, it was like you held it like this, and then it had a hose that went behind your back, and it like clipped into this thing right here, and then you had like whatever, you had hose, and then you had your thing over here, and then you do just and you do the thing, right? That sand that falls back or like recoils back, what do you call it? Bounces off of your workpiece is like needles. It feels like needles. It's just like ah. It's not fun. So definitely wear your smock. It's not good. When the Debt Goat Museum is built, it will be better. A CEO owner of a credit card payment company in Washington State decided to pay all his employees at least $75K. He has since raised that amount. He cut his own pay to do so. So that's an ethical man. And he probably still makes a frick load of money. And I don't think there's anything wrong with being rich. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a billionaire. I think there's something wrong with being an unethical billionaire. Right? I don't know how many ethical billionaires there are. Right? Like Jeff Bezos. There are so many complaints within this company. I don't know if they're all valid or not. But just at face value, I would say he's grown an amazing company that's super useful. Everyone uses it. But it's a little unethical when your employees have to run around, not get... Now, this might not be up to him. It might be up to his... or to managers and stuff who are demanding things that are unreasonable of their workers. But some of you work at Amazon and you said that you like it. So that can't be true everywhere. I don't know. Bill Gates. People hate him because of the vaccine thing, but let's say that that's not even a thing. There's a lot of conspiracy around that, but let's say there isn't. He lost his billionaire status a couple times because of his philanthropy. Whether you believe it's true philanthropy or not, let's just, for argument's sake, say that it is. Is he an ethical man based off of those principles? Seems like it, but then if you do factor in all those other things that make him seem like a nefarious character, then no longer. So I don't know. Elon Musk, billionaire, makes a lot of great products. Seems to pay his employees very fair wages. They all have stock in his company just based off of their being an employee. Employership? Is that a word? Seems like an ethical billionaire. J.K. Rowling made her money off of... although, does Elon Musk have conflict minerals in his products? That is unethical. I don't know where he... I know that there's... those mines in Nevada, so maybe he gets them from there. I don't know. J.K. Rowling made her money off of her art, right? If you classify writing as art, that's an ethical way to make money because people are just buying your art. She might have some unethical things in there I don't know about, but I don't know. But let's say that's ethical. The freaking Warren Buffett, he does a lot of investing. I don't know if there's anything unethical about that, but if he had anything to do with like redlining or anything like that, that's unethical and racist. I don't know if he's real estate or not, but I don't know. There's lots of billionaires. I don't know if they're all unethical or ethical, but those five that I mentioned, right? You can name good things and bad things about all of them. I don't know. Yeah, wear protection, please. A friend of mine hurt his eyes. If you're sandblasting, for sure, wear goggles. For sure. Wear the whole hood, actually. Wear the whole freaking hood. It's like a, it looks like a, not a space helmet, but it's like an inferno suit helmet thing. I think corporations are pricing us out of life, more interesting in profit than the struggling employees. Well, the thing about that is, if no one can buy your product, you are no longer going to have the need to make the product and therefore have no money from those products. So, very foolish. My husband is self-appointed CEO of his home office. I made him a cantankerous, emotional oldie sign. Josh, for the perfect movie representation of the frustration of going to a job you hate, dead inside experience, watch beginning of movie Nobody with Bob Odenkirk. Okay. We have some family businesses that share that income with employees. I think one needs just an amount of money, maybe 1 million every year, to have an excellent life, not 1 million a month. If you can have 1 million a month and your employees can live very well, be comfortable, not worry about if they're going to pay the power bill or fill the refrigerator, make $1 million a month. I will never care about that. I wish I could make $1 million a month. I don't have any employees right now, unless you technically count Steve and Linda, but like that doesn't really count. Those, if I made $1 million a month, they would make, 100 grand a month. You know what I mean? Like, well, I don't know if that might be irresponsible of me, but no one would hate working for me, that's for sure. I was told once by a manager that I was up for a promotion to supervisory management, but said I was too nice to employees and I wouldn't be a good fit just because I said please do whatever. Hey, some people need you to be a little more of a hard ass. I don't think that's a good reason not to be management, because you don't know if you're going to be a good manager until you're a manager. No one knows for sure. You can guess, and your guess might be correct. Your assumptions are often correct based off of your guesses, but oftentimes they're wrong as well. People assume that, okay, here's one, and I've said this many times before. People assume that Ashley and I are monetarily rich. We are not even close to rich. We are not broke per se. We are not rich at all. And people always think we are. And they sometimes people try to take advantage of our kindness or our, whatever, willingness to help someone or whatever, because they assume that we won't care because we have so much money. And we don't have any money that anyone would be impressed by. Like, I don't know what it is, but I appreciate their confidence in our tenacity and what we do for a living and all that stuff, but that's not true. So some assumptions are wildly wrong based off what they're guessing about us. You know what I mean? But even though I'm kind of an asshole, I think I'm a nice asshole. So if you assume that I'm a nice guy, correct, but I'm also kind of a jerk. Joshua, most billionaires have become so because of exploitation of workers and massive tax breaks. Yeah, that's unethical when your earnings become untaxed. I don't think that should be allowed. If I have to pay taxes on every cent that I make, so should they. Unless, of course, they donate it to a charity for real or, stuff like that. I mean, my accountant tells me, hey, you should donate some money to someplace because it'll be beneficial to wherever you're donating to, and it'll save you some in taxes, more than what you're giving away. And I'm like, okay, I will do that. We already decide to give to certain charities anyway, so we will do that. That's no loss. Like, that's not why we would donate to a charity because someone else told us to, because it'll save us money. That's not necessarily unethical. What is unethical is like hiding your money like offshore or whatever, and it's untaxed. I don't think that's right. I paid 50% of my income. Companies pay 12% tax in Ireland. Yeah, you got a lot of social programs. Over here in North America, we have a huge aversion to a lot of, let's call them socialist ideas. A lot of the the worry about it are warranted because of you know, like mostly communists and other things that have failed and have been terrible for people that have been not good in history. But then we also have great social programs that everyone agrees with as well. I don't know what I pay in taxes. Like, we pay a provincial and a federal. I think I pay like 40-some%. Something like that. It's like 15. I can't remember. Maybe it's not 40%. Maybe it's like 30-something%. So no, not as much as you, not 50%. It's not 50, I know that. I don't think of that word as a swear word. Please excuse my thoughtless mistake. What? What did you say? Oh, did you say bitches? What? Where did you say that? What's it? What? Where's the bitches? Oh, I'm not on live chat. I'm on top chat. Oh yeah. So Matthew doesn't care if you say bitches. YouTube cares if you say bitches. He's just trying to get me not demonetized. I work rather for a kind person than a mean one. Sometimes there had to be raft words maybe, but all of it should be respect in the way it goes. You should always respect everyone as long as respect is warranted, of course. I don't think that you should respect someone just because they're older than you or because they have a different position than you or whatever. I don't think that is a thing that should be, I don't think that's real. I don't think you should respect someone because they're older than you because they're older than you. I think you should respect someone because people are, not all people, but as a general rule, people are worthy of your respect based off of them being human, but more importantly, you are also humans, which means that you are not perfect. So, people deserve respect just because you also deserve respect. You know what I mean? Sounds right. I paid 46%. Okay, maybe I paid 40%. Yeah, I don't remember. All I know is that last year, I was like, what the is up with this tax hike? I didn't think it would be that bad. But it was. Took me forever to pay it, but I did. Thanks to the new pay later program thing. I was like, how are we gonna do this? We need to sell some more art. But we got it. Billionaire, I said that weird. Billionaire Jimmy Pattison would fire the car salesman who had the lowest numbers of car sales every month of his business. Talk about dog eat dog. People will often do that anyways. But if you have low sales because someone has to be the lowest, that's a stupid reason to fire someone. That does make you try to work harder, but you know what else that also makes people work harder rather than fear? How about just like some practical morale, you know? Bring in donuts every once in a while. People love donuts. You don't need to fire someone. You can spend $12. People will work better for you because they will appreciate what you did for them, and that costs you $12. Should I be a financial advisor? No, what do you call it? A business advisor? Have you bought the donuts yet? Well, try it. See if it helps. You know? I don't know. That's probably a little simple, but... And if not everyone wants to eat sugar all the time, so bring in coffee. You know? Don't charge to use the water cooler. That is retarded. I don't get why anyone does that. You know, make it so that you have a ladies' and a men's bathroom. That does a lot for people too. Although if you come into a company and you start with that, maybe it doesn't seem like a big deal. I don't know. Have like company parties. Lots of people don't like those, but you know, if they're available, people will go to them. They will appreciate them. You know, how about a Christmas bonus? If you can afford it, give a Christmas bonus. What about coming into your company's places, like your buildings that you have employees in, and saying hi to them? Tell them who you are and tell them that you appreciate them. People love that shit because it shows that you care about their production and their value within the company. Maybe I'm just naive, but I feel like that would make a difference. You don't have to fire someone because they happen to have the least amount of sales, because someone needs to have someone's going to make less than someone else. There's no way around it. Unless you all happen to make the same amount of sales, which is very unlikely, especially if you're pitting them against each other. That's dumb. Hey, that billionaire sucks. Oh yeah, how do you know? Because he's a billionaire? No, because he actually sucks, you know? We get tax-free allowance through, though, so don't have to pay tax on the first 12,500 euros we earn. We don't have to pay, we used to not have to pay on the first 30,000, but they lowered the poverty bracket to, or they upped the poverty line. It used to be 30,000, but now I think it's 35,000. No. Now it's 20,000. Sorry. They lowered it. Yeah, now it's 25,000. I think. That's unethical to me. As a government to do that, be like, oh, you're not poor. You're poor if you make 5,000 less. What? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. You are not naive. You are absolutely spot on. You like the donut idea. Finish crisp ideas about donuts. You're an absolute spoon, is what Nicola Johnson from Lithuania thought you said. I think Steve is here. 1 second. Nope. That was something else. I don't know. I thought I heard someone pull up and I thought I saw a shadow, but it must, maybe someone else just drove a loud vehicle by and maybe a bird flew by. I don't know what that was. It is in the 20s. Yeah, 20 something, right? For Canadian poverty line. I think that's ridiculous. The Latina in me will always respect my elders. Oh, respect your elders, but not just because they're old. It's not your fault they were born first. Do whatever you want. You should respect everyone who deserves respect. That's the caveat. They should deserve respect. But give them the benefit of the doubt going in, right? So, like, this is patting myself on the back on something that's really small, but yesterday I went and got gas, and as I was walking out, I see this guy walking in, so I just waited a little bit, I held the door open for him, and then I left. That's a super small little sign of respect. People held the door open for me all the time, and so I say thank you, because I appreciate that they took some time to do something kind for me that they didn't have to do. I wouldn't have felt disrespected if they didn't hold the door open for me, especially since they had to wait. Now, if they're right behind or right in front of me and then they open the door and they close it, that would be disrespectful. But that doesn't happen too often. I'm sure it's happened a couple times, but I don't remember. Can people just drive past yours? I thought you were up a driveway. Oh yeah, but sometimes you can hear them, especially when it's really cold out. The sound travels really good in the cold for some reason. So there's a person who drives a semi-truck. I imagine I heard a semi-truck, but I saw like a shadow go past my window there. So that could have been a bird or something. Or maybe even it was snow falling off the roof. I don't know what it was. I just saw it out the corner of my eye. And it just happened to be at the same time I heard some noise. But I also have like this furnace going, so it's a little faint. People have to earn my disrespect. I like that. That's a good way to be. But if they are an old bast, then no respect just because they are old. Right. And even old bastards, they might deserve respect too. people become jaded for different reasons, and if they show you that they're a piece of shit because of their past experience, that's unpleasant. But you will also find merit in them as time goes on, and then you might just be like, oh, okay, this guy is a little ornery, or he's a bit of a jerk, but guess what? He this or he that. Of course, if it's just in passing, you never see him again, then you don't know. But you know, yeah, small things get the world going. I gave a woman who was short of change for the bus ticket 20 cents. She was so thankful, but for me, it was just a coin of change. You have 20-cent coins? Did you say you're building 1,000 items for sale? I did. 1,000. Yeah, I don't know how we got down this rabbit hole. I was going to cut out this freaking thing. Why don't we do that? And then... what was I saying? Or what did you ask? Yeah, 1,000 things? Yeah, 1,000 things. I am building 1,000 unfinished kitchen things, hopefully. Now, I'm going to have help from Dakota and Steve, but that's the goal for this year. Okay. This is what we started off doing. Okay? I'm going to see if this works. This might be too deep because I kind of wrecked this bit, as I explained earlier, but we'll figure it out. Way too dull, but it didn't chip out, which is good. I'm going to try this one. All I need to do is go around here, I don't know, maybe an inch, and then I can cut the rest out to be a hole. But let me figure this out. I think that's too deep. This bit is probably too... It's a little too deep. I think the bit is too dull. Somehow this smells like a jam cookie. I know that's really weird, but it kind of does. Try this. Obviously, you don't want that to happen. Yeah, this is not going to work. I need a way sharper bit than that. That's junk. Because that would have happened here and I would have gotten like a... That would suck. So we are not going to do that today. I'm going to go get a bit. Maybe I'll get that today, maybe not. If your jam smell like melamine, you might want to try a different brand. No, it doesn't smell that much like it. It's more so like this smell reminds me of that. Matthew is leaving? Matthew, if you're still here, I have to scram and get started on my day. Have a good day, everyone. Be safe and stay healthy, he says. Matthew, if you could just post a link to your jewelry page if you're still here, and so everyone can check you out. Thank you so much for what you do for my channel here, helping out with moderating and all that jazz. You're awesome. I'm going to go too, but we'll see if Matthew is still here. We've been on for 2 hours and 4 minutes just talking about this and that. We had a fun Q&A here, I think. Maybe, hopefully you guys did too. Let's see if I can... You should moonlight as a life coach. I don't... It was a gap link. Yeah. I don't know if I would be very good as a life coach, but yes. I just saw it again. I just saw something go by the window again. Oh, it's Ashley. She's shoveling the snow. I probably heard the shovel on the sidewalk. That's what I heard. And then I saw snow past the window. She's over on the house sidewalk, but I could see. Let me show you. I could see the snow go right. Hold on. Let's see if I can point to it. Right through that window there. I just saw a puff of snow. Yeah. Anyways. Did he? Oh, he must have left already. Okay, guys. He already left. So no ghost this time. No ghost. Is it way too cold out there? I need warmers for my gloves. It's cold here. Plus for all helpers in any job. Exactly. Yeah, okay, he's not here. What did he say again? Look at everyone, be safe and sound. Yeah. I get kicked off of suicide hotline for putting people on hold. You do suicide hotline too? That's what Be a Kind Human does. I think her name is Melanie, but I kind of forget. I think it starts with an M. Ashley's getting her workout. Yeah, she loves shoveling snow for some reason. I don't know if she loves it, but she does it all the time. All the time. I'm like, dude, there's too much. What are you doing? We're going to get someone, like, she's doing the driveway right now. A little bit later, Steve the Scrapper is going to come by with his skid steer, and he's going to do everything that she's doing anyway. I don't know why she does that. Wind chill's minus 37. Holy crap. Okay. I will see you guys later. Thank you for hanging out here. Excuse me. I thought I would do a Q&A type video because I don't know when the next vlog is going to come out. Hopefully soon. But for now, I'm going to go get a bit. I'm going to work on some more cutting boards for batch D. If you want to see batch C, they're up on the Facebook page, the Ushitap Facebook page. In the Unfinished Kitchen album, there is 35. Lots of them are sold already, but lots of them are still available because I haven't shown them here on the YouTube. Have you been on the YouTube? I don't know why I said on the YouTube like that. I'm not that old. And then over the next couple days or whatever, as I release that vlog, I'm going to decide which ones I'm going to hold. Well, I think I've decided on some of them anyway, that I'm going to bring to the retail space to set up on these shelves. So these shelves are going to go in there. Is it this one? No, it's the other. Oh yeah, this one. Look at this. Look how that got big there. Isn't that annoying? That's from having the bit be dull. It moved. Like, see how that did that here, where it's like, so on the other shelf, or whichever shelf, maybe it was even this one, I hit a screw, and then when I hit a screw, it broke the blade, it made it all shitty. And anyways, so when I started doing this one, it bit weird because it's so dull, and it widened that up. I was so disappointed, but I was like, you know what? It won't matter in the end. Yeah, it'll just bug me forever. But that will be a reminder. When you hit a screw, don't keep using the same bit. I even tried to use it here, and I would have regretted it if I started on the end. But anyway. Do live with Chakota. Wait, is today Monday? Today's Tuesday. Oh, did you guys watch Chakota's live yesterday? Thank you, John. It's been so great to hang out. Those boards are spectacular. I'm glad you like it. Alberta, minus 40 tonight. Yeah, so the chickens are going to come back into the shop, unfortunately. Fortunately for them, but unfortunately for me, because I was going to paint a picture in there, but I don't want to do it while they're in there because, you know, I paint at night oftentimes and I have the light on and then they don't sleep. Okay. Oh, he had bad internet and didn't have it. Dang. Okay, Josh, I just got here. Well, Jim, you just got here in Edmonton? Or what do you mean? Or you just got to the live? If you're in Edmonton, stop by. I mean, I'm not in Edmonton, but I'm kind of close. You should take the Archie head outside to prank Ashley. She would just be like, what are you doing? Okay, anyways, guys. See you later. Have a good day or evening or what? Have a good day wherever. No, hold on. Have a good day or whatever, wherever you are.